Welcome back, Mushroom Man Toad here, and in the video today, I've kind of got a follow-up to my infinite right-clickable items video I did a little while back. I've got two concepts I'm going to show off in this video. Both of them come from the same commenter in the comment section of my right-click detection video. It's the comment on screen right now. Now, if you saw that, you probably are aware that with Carrot on a Stick, one of the biggest limitations of it is that it only has like very, very small amount of durability. So you can only have a couple custom textures for it. Well, today, as you've probably already seen in the title, I'm covering something that has much less of that limitation to it. In fact, it has 385 durability. I don't see you working through that very quickly with your texturing. That is, of course, going to be the bow. And today I'm going to show you how you can set up infinite different types of bows in your world. In this example, I'm going to create a custom bow that does lightning upon shooting it. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do to get this set up is you're going to want to add two objectives. And these commands will be down in the description of this video if you want to check them out for yourself, copy them into your world, whatever. Scoreboard, objectives, add, bow, and then it's going to be stat.useItem.minecraft.bow. That's the first one. You got to have that. And the other one is scoreboard, objectives, add, inGround, dummy. I will come back to what this does. For now, just click the button. It'll add both scoreboard objectives, right? Add a new objective, added a new inGround. Actually, I already added them to this world, but that's how you would set those up. Then the next thing we want to do is with this over here. Now, this looks like, ooh, wow, big line of commands. It's going to be super complicated, right? It's not. This is really, really simple. I think you'll like this. So inside the repeating command block, we have the command scoreboard players tag at a score bow min equals 1 add. And you're going to add whatever custom tag you want. In this case, I've just called it lightning bow. And then you're going to want to go selected item, and it's that lore trick. If you don't know how this lore trick works, go check out my previous video. Card for that is going to be on screen right now. Again, you can call this tag whatever you want. This score of bow is going to get set to 1 every time you shoot your bow. So just to demonstrate that, if I just shut this off and I get myself a bow, which is under combat, and we shoot it, you'll see on the side there my bow score is set to 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. The next command block has execute at a tag equals lightning bow. So you're executing at every player with that lightning bow tag that we gave in this command block. And you're going to go scoreboard players tag at e type equals arrow. So you're targeting the arrows within 2 blocks of the player that don't already have the set tag on them, and you're going to add lightning. This is for if you want to expand on this just a little bit to get the bow to do something custom when it hits another player. And the way you do that is you detect an arrow within a radius of another player to apply the effect. Once you've set this set tag, the other player, whatever bow they're holding, it's not going to affect your whole system. That's why that's there. And you're going to add the lightning tag. Then you're just going to do the exact same thing, literally the exact same command, except you're going to add the tag set. And that way your arrow is set. It's not going to activate on other people's commands and such. And you've got scoreboard players tag at a remove lightning bow. That gets rid of the tag we added here because we don't need it anymore. The player is now out of the equation. And we're just going to reset at a bow. So that means your bow counter, that one that we showed on the sidebar, that'll be reset every time you shoot the lightning bow. These two need to be conditional so that you don't interfere with other modules. The next command, scoreboard players set at E, type equals arrow, tag equals lightning. We've given this tag to the arrow now. And we're going to increase its score of inGround to 1. We're going to set its score to 1 if it has the tag inGround. So this is what you use to detect if an arrow is stuck into a block. So this arrow now is inGround. This arrow is not. Now it is. So that's how you detect when an arrow strikes the ground, is with inGround 1B. Now, you're going to execute at E, score inGround min equals 1, tag equals lightning, and then you're just going to summon the lightning bolt, right? So this is the heart of the thing here. You've now got your arrow set up so it knows if it's in the ground and if it's got the tag of lightning, which will only happen if you're holding a bow with lore of lightning. And finally, we're just going to kill the arrow and reset every player's score of bow at the end, just to make sure, you know, if I'm shooting a bow that doesn't have any custom effects, that's going to reset. This here, up to this point, this is one module. You will need to repeat this setup every time you want to add a new custom bow. And instead of this being repeating, you'll just make it conditional, stick it on the end of this line right in between these two command blocks, and then just move this one to the end. And that's it. That is the entire trick to setting up. Again, commands in the description. If that was way too complicated for you, I'll break it down in simple terms. You check if the player that shot the bow is holding a bow with a custom tag. You then tag the arrow and to tell the game what kind of arrow it needs to be. You then clear the scores from the player, but not from the arrow. You then tell the game whether or not the arrow is sticking into the ground. Then you run a command. You run all the commands you want to run from the arrow that's in the ground with the custom tag from this command block. Then you just get rid of the arrow and reset the tag so the whole module resets once every tick. And just to demonstrate that in action, this is a normal bow, right? There is no tag of lightning on this. This is a bow with a tag of lightning. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty awesome right there. So, if you enjoyed this command concept, do make sure you drop a like on this video, as it does help me out. These command things do take a bit of time to work out. So I hope it helped you out in some way. I hope it helped you with your project. Now you can let your creative imagination flow with what kind of custom launchers you're going to create in your game using different bows that don't have to interfere with each other anymore. If you do use it for something, do make sure down in the comment sections you post a video or some link to something you've created. I'd love to check it out, see what I've helped you create. That would be awesome. But that's it for me for now. Of course it isn't. This thing over here, right? We need to talk about this. This command block here. This one is super simple. The other question they asked was, for example, when you stepped on a gold block, it would set your spawn point. That command is incredibly simple. You're going to execute at every player and detect if they're standing on a gold block. You need to include this -1 after the gold block, and usually for any block, because that tells you the damage value of the block, the data value. So unless you're looking for a custom stone, then this wouldn't be -1, but if you just want any stone, you'd use -1. If you want any orientation of dropper, for example, -1. So just always use -1 in this place. It'll make your life a lot easier. And then you're just going to run spawn point at S. At S is your friend. It targets the player whose execution was successful. So you're just going to spawn point the player who ran the detection, and you'll set it to wherever they're standing, right? So in this case, it's now. So if I stand on this and turn it on, got to turn it on. That's why it wasn't working. As you can see, it's setting my spawn point to where I'm standing, but as soon as I step off and clear the chat, you can see it's not working. But as soon as I step back on, it'll set my spawn point. So that is how you would set that up. Thank you for your comments, suggestions. Thank you for that. Thank you for the suggestion for this video. I will see you in the next one. And I hope you enjoyed. This intro is backwards.